All right, you may be asking how a 24-year-old kid just flipped this house and made 100 grand. I'm gonna walk you guys through exactly how we found the deal, what I did to flip this, and why I'm standing here with a sold property, and hopefully what you guys can do as well. So anyways, this is 7 months in the making here. We've had some ups, we've had some downs. I'm gonna walk you guys through everything that we've ran into. But I think it's best we just do an exterior walkthrough. I'll show you guys exactly what we did here and why I decided to buy a house that had gotten hit by a tornado. And really, anybody could have bought this deal, and I'll tell you guys how. So this popped up on the MLS back in February of this year, 2025. And it popped up and I knew immediately, I was like, that's a deal. You kind of just get an eye for it. You know, it's $90,000. They listed it for the lot value only. I got to looking at it and I'm like, man, you know, half the roof was off. I'll put some photos up on the screen, but I was like, man, that looks like it's salvageable. Like, it looks like it still has decent bones. You can see we've got new construction here. We have new construction all the way up the street. We're gonna put some drone footage in here for you guys. No houses this way. And so this whole street got pretty much wrecked, and half the street up the hill as well. But for me, the reward outweighed the risk. And so I sent an offer immediately, $90,000. I was like, I'll go hard on my earnest money, which means that if I put it under contract and we don't close on it, I lose my earnest money. But it's worth it because quick numbers, I was like, I think we can make at least 100 grand on this. And we did. And so anyways, I think half of it just comes down to either being ignorant or just having a little bit of balls. But here's the backside here. Now, when we bought this, it wasn't white brick. We went with the white brick. Usually I wouldn't paint brick. I'm sure you guys are gonna give me shit about it, but I think it turned out pretty good actually. Now, the first thing that I did when we put this under is I had my structural engineer come out. I wanted him to look at it. I wanted to make sure everything looks good. And believe it or not, he said it was totally good. Bones were perfect. There's some rafters on the roof. We took the whole roof off and replaced it. And then we put this porch on here as well. The porch was gone. Porch was definitely worth it because we paid right around $20,000 just for this roof and the porch. But it really, like, it brings the whole house together. It makes it look really good. So he said it was good to go. And I was like, okay, that's sweet. You know, this was all covered up here. We've done some landscaping outside. I'll roll you guys inside. Now, one thing I'll tell you guys real quick, two things. If you guys stick around, I do have something I'm gonna give away, like I usually do in most of my videos. And then number two, we actually haven't closed this yet. I'm gonna put a photo of the check on the screen so you guys know that I did close it, but I'm not gonna release this until we close. We're actually a day early, but we're gonna close tomorrow. And the buyers were supposed to move their stuff into the garage. I'm not worried about it. They've actually moved it inside. Whatever. For me, it's fine. So this isn't my stuff in here. This is the buyer's stuff. So anyways, coming in here, roof was off when we bought this. There's no roof. A lot of the sheetrock was jacked up. But overall, I think what had happened, the way tornadoes hit, is they'll kind of lift up and drop down, lift up and drop down like this. I think the tornado wreaked havoc on these four houses, the first four houses on the street. Barely lifted up, took the roof off, caused a whole bunch of issues back here, took the porch off, and then sat back down and hit the rest of the houses on the street. So this was like the only one that wasn't structurally hit. And somehow the lady that I bought it from just convinced the insurance to total it out, and they did. That's why she sold it to me for land value only. And believe it or not, it was an MLS deal. So we're making $100,000 on a deal that hit the MLS that somebody else in my market could have had as well. I actually had dudes hit me up as soon as I put it under contract. They were like, hey, how'd you put that under contract? But I hounded the listing agent when we went under. So in here, we kept the original cabinets. There's no point in replacing them. There's a drop ceiling here. We just got rid of the drop ceiling, put some recessed lights in. Here's one of the issues that we had. And I should have known from the start. We've got a few issues I'm gonna tell you guys about where we could have made a little bit more money, but it is what it is. We had good margin on this one. These countertops right here. If you guys don't notice, they're 2 cm, which drives me nuts. On a higher end house, this is what I would consider somewhat of a higher end house. 2 cm is a no-go for me. We paid for 3 cm. Me and Logan, we were out of town. Me, Logan, B, we're out of town. This granite guy, he got the best of us a little bit on this one. So he calls us, he's hounding us for payment. He's like, I need to get paid, I need to get paid. I call Kyla up, my assistant. I'm like, hey, we go look and make sure that the but the quartz is good, looks good. And it's not on her at all. She doesn't know what to look for. We're also supposed to have an overhang here. You see, this just looks tacky almost, you know. I think it looks fine, but it's not what we were going for. So it's supposed to have an overhang. We pay like $3,000 for all this granite, quartz, all the quartz in the window sills, and then the quartz in both bathrooms, which I'll show you guys here in a few. So long story short, she comes out, she's like, yeah, looks fine. Well, me and Logan come out here the next week and we're like, oh shit, this doesn't look right. It's our fault, you know what I mean? Like, you guys are gonna tell me in the comments, don't pay your contractors beforehand. I know, go watch my 6-step contractor video. So I should have known better, and you know, the dude was hounding us, he wanted to get paid, shouldn't have paid him. And so anyways, to get him back out, we tried for like 2 weeks, set us 2 weeks behind. And so that's another thing. Not only did it look horrible, it also set us like 2 weeks behind. And so anyways, it is what it is. We still got it sold. When it came down to it, we were like, well, we can't pay another I mean, we could, but we're not gonna pay another $3,000 just to put 3 CM in. Let's just put it on the market. Everything else looks really good. And let's see if we can sell it. And we did. Here's a little pro tip. I just talked about this today, actually. There is what B, my wife, calls a dude logic flip. And it's where you have like nickel fixtures, you have cheap Lowe's lights. Just order these on Amazon, y'all. They're the same price as what you would pay the light fixtures, same price as what you would pay for Lowe's fixtures. You can get them in gold, which is in right now. It can look tacky, so get the right color gold, but it's in right now and it looks good. So, little pro tip, I just saw a investor, which I think this is crazy. I've only been doing this for 6 years. This guy's been doing this for 15 years. He posted a photo. He had dropped the price on this flip 50 grand. I've not done that on any of my flips this year. We've been selling at or maybe 2 to 3% below list all year long on everything we take to market. But the design's a big piece of it. And so he posted this photo earlier. He's like, we're 50K below list and we're getting offers 10K below with 10K in concession. So really 70,000 below list. He's like, I don't understand this market. This market sucks. He's not taking ownership. If he would take ownership and go, okay, why are other houses selling and not mine? So anyways, he posted a photo on Zillow. I pulled the flip up. It's a dude logic flip. He's got gray floors, gray walls, 12 by 24 tile, which is just what everybody puts in, versus this is how we do ours. Here's number 2 where we went wrong with this flip here. And this is the largest project we've ever done, $100,000, quite a bit to spend on one project. Our timelines were just all over the place. We used a lot of different subs on this. And so we had a paint guy, we had our countertop guy, we had our roofers, and there was no strategy behind it. It was like, as one sub finished, we were like, okay, now we're gonna schedule the other, which we had a lot of stuff going on, way too many projects at the time. There should have been better strategy behind it. We're in and out on this deal in 7 months. I really think that we could have been in and out in 6 months. We could have saved a month on this deal, which is a month of holding costs, which on a deal like this is almost 6 grand. So it does make a difference. So you can see, definitely not your typical 12 by 24 tile that you would normally see. And we got the gold fixtures. Sorry, it's a little echoey probably, but that stuff makes a difference. You know, we could have done 12 by 24 and I got that stuff for $1 a piece. So we got a really good deal on that tile actually. This is weird. I feel bad, but like they're not supposed to really have I don't care that they have their stuff moved in, but they said they were gonna put it in the garage. They're good to buy it, I'm assuming. So here's the bathroom in here. This turned out, we ripped this whole thing out except for the vanity here. Another thing, you know, like these are just things that you run into. This bathtub, for example, we found out, we brought it all the way in, didn't fit through this doorway. For some reason, this doorway is like 28 inches. So we had to pull the window off and shove it through the window, or I say we did, our guys did. But anyways, it turned out good. Nice little shower. You guys see these windows here? These are original windows to, I believe, 2001 when this was built. The windows on the front all got blown out by the tornado. And so we took our chances keeping these and we were able to keep them. So that saved us $4,000 or $5,000. What, that window too?
No, that's new.
Oh yeah, this window here is new. And then the windows on the front are new also. So anyways, turned out good. Carpet, we paid an extra $400 or $500 for like a fancier carpet. You know, this is a kind of higher end flip and we wanted to push the comps on this. So, you know, typically we'll put, a little bit less of a nice grade in here for carpet, but it was $400 or $500 more to put the nicer stuff in, and we're trying to push above what the comps are selling, which right now in this market, you know, we're September of 2025, it's not a great market. Definitely not a market where most flips are selling at or above asking around us. But we sold this, we went under contract at asking price, and I'll tell you guys the third thing we ran into, low appraisal. That's one issue that you do run into whenever you have something that you're trying to take to market above comps, which I don't usually recommend, but I know my comps, I know our areas, I know what we can get away with, and I knew this was a premium product, so I was like, you know what? You know, comps are really close to like 310. We're gonna try and get 325. And we did get the 325, except the appraiser said no. He came in at 316. So another thing, I'll tell you guys about that here in a second. Another thing here, did nice little brick. This, we could have kept the original tile that was here, but this just really adds a lot of depth to the flip. And same with the beater board up top as well, we added that. So it's little stuff like that that makes it different than a house like this where we're competing with new construction, literally 2 doors down. We're competing with these guys that are building new construction, and we're getting the same price per square foot or similar price per square foot. So anyways, so with that appraisal, came in last week, literally. Super frustrating. One thing they did ask for is they asked for this fence out here. This is 250 square feet or 250 linear feet of black chain link. We paid $2,000 for the chain link, and then we paid 2 days of labor to our crew, which came out to $1,200. So $3,200 for all of this, I think is a pretty good deal. I think this would usually be $5,000 or $6,000 fence depending on who you hire. So anyways, last week appraisal comes in at $316,000, which pissed me off because we're like less than a week from closing, which you guys may say, oh wow, you're just getting greedy. But this is what I do for a living. So, you know, yeah, I'm making 100 grand, but I would rather have made 106,000 or what, 109,000. I'm sure you guys would too. You know, and I also have Logan that I pay on our deals. And anyways, you know, for me, we've spent a lot of time, a lot of money on this deal, and I want to get as much as we can. So anyways, the buyer ended up splitting it with us. I came down 4,500, the buyer came up 4,500, and we were able to get the deal done there. So yeah, the backyard, I think I've got a video of it. Just a ton of debris and trash all over the place. We paid $6 grand? Yeah, $6 grand to clean all of that up. And so that's something you guys got to think about. You know, it was under the dirt, and so we did a lot of clearing. We had to bring out skid steer, yeah, a couple loads of dirt to clear it up. And actually, I forgot to look, but that grass came in good back there. It was nothing but dirt when we listed it, yeah. So why I bought this deal? A, I had the structural engineer report. The bones were good. That's all that mattered to me. I can fix the rest of this stuff as long as the bones are good. Had he come out and said it needs 6 piers, I would have still bought it. Had he come out and said the foundation's compromised, there's nothing you can do, I wouldn't have bought it because obviously I'm showing you guys these deals. Like, I'm not going to bring a product to market that isn't going to do well, you know, or that I don't think is going to have longevity. So I wouldn't have felt good about it. But he said it was good to go. So, you know, I analyzed the risk reward. I'm like, okay, let's say worst case scenario, I spent 100 grand, which funny enough, I spent 100 grand on the rehab. We're still going to make like 100,000 after buy side closing costs, holding costs, sell side closing costs. And so there was absolutely no reason not to buy this. Now, looking back, and let me ask you guys this. I want to know in the comments. I could have wholesaled this day one for 60,000. Or we flipped it and we made 100 with 7 months of work. When you look at it like that, probably would have made sense to wholesale it. But I'll tell you why I didn't and why I'm happy I didn't either, is we learned a shitload on this deal right here. We learned a lot just in terms of management. Me and Logan were still getting used to each other. This was like our first real project that we did together with him being project manager. And it was a fun one. Like, I've enjoyed this flip. You know, it's my best flip, or it's our favorite flip that I've ever done personally. So, you know, some people may have said, well, you should have just wholesaled the deal. I'm still glad that I didn't. All right, that's my one take for you guys. If you guys want the full $100,000 rehab list, everything that we spent, I think it came out to like 99,000 something. Logan uploaded every single expense. If you guys want that, is what I want you guys to do. Share this with 2 people, please. I'm just trying to get the word out. I want to be the #1 real estate YouTuber online. I'm trying to share this info for free. I'm not, trying to hide anything. So share this for me, and then send me a DM on Instagram, but send me some proof, because I've noticed, I'm gonna call some people out here, I've noticed that on the last few videos where I was like, drop a comment and then shoot a DM, you guys are just shooting a DM. And I hate to be petty, but I am not gonna send you the list, or I'm not gonna send you this rehab breakdown unless I see that you've shared this with some people. So anyways, hope this one adds a little bit of value, and I'll catch you guys later.